And a few questions that I've had recently is about biodynamics and organics. So I thought it would be time now for a conversation about biodynamics. So that's why we bring and introduce Guiry into today's journey. Okay, so biodynamics. The concept of biodynamics actually started in 1920 with an Austrian philosopher named Rudolf Steiner. You may know Steiner schools and all that kind of thing. It's making wine, or I shouldn't even say making wine. It's like viticulture made in a more holistic, homeopathic way. It's a more holistic manner of farming, and of course that would include winemaking, right? And it is the oldest anti-chemical agricultural movement that predates the creation of organic farming by about 20 years. Yeah. Biodynamics occur primarily in the vineyard before winemaking even happens. Biodynamic winemakers normally say they don't have to do anything to the wine. It's all about the vineyard, all about the vineyard. If your viticulturalist isn't doing the right thing, or if the circumstances aren't correct for the year, there's just no wine. You know, all the various tasks from planting, pruning, harvesting, they're all regulated by a special biodynamic calendar. And the calendar was originally devised by the high priestesses of biodynamic, the high priestess of biodynamic, I should say, Maria Thun. I know someone out there is going to tell me her name, how to say it properly. I've always known her as Maria Thun. It could be Maria Thun. Please, if you know, let me know. What she did was actually divide the days into 4 different categories. So you've got root days, you've got fruit days, you've got flower days, and you have leaf days. And each biodynamic calendar day coincides with one of the 4 classic elements of earth, fire, air, and water. That's been used ever since before Plato's era. It's funny because bringing a kind of spiritual element into winemaking, people don't even really think about that. But basically on the fruit day, that's the day that you want to harvest the grapes. On the root day, you want to prune the grapes. On the flower day, you want to leave the vineyard alone, because let them do what they do. And then on the leaf days, they are the most ideal days for planting, for watering the plants, I should say. So you would never, for example, want to harvest on a leaf day, because leaf days correlate with the element of water, and you'd end up picking rotten, waterlogged grapes. Get it? So besides the biodynamic calendar, no chemicals or manufactured additives like a commercial yeast are allowed in biodynamic wine. Instead, wine growers, they make special compost preparations with natural ingredients that actually bolster their vineyards. So you'll know they use husks, like the husks of different animals and stuff. It's quite crazy. So now Tenuta Mara, which is the one we have here, they're from Emilia-Romagna, and they are a biodynamic vineyard. They adhere to all of the laws that I've just mentioned. Even in terms of the winemaking, they will allow the wines to kind of ferment, and based on the moon, the pull of the moon, rather than having to plunge down on the wines, the pull of the moon will move the yeast through and help the fermentation process. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool process. I like it. I think it's cool. Maybe you think it's crazy, but yeah. You can visit Tenuta Mara and you can stay there, and it's really cool. They have Mozart that plays through the vineyards, and they have Gregorian chants that hum through the barrel room. It's all very romantic. Only 14,000 bottles of this wine are made. The grapes are manually selected before being put into vats around autumn, without managing any temperatures or adding any yeast, yeah? The must will just end the fermentation when it's ready, and they'll allow that maceration on the skins to continue for another month before the wine ages on its lees, which is on the yeast, on its fine yeast, for about 12 months in French oak barrels, and then it will move into a small concrete barrel to retain its freshness. If you remember from last week, I mentioned what concrete can do. Retains freshness, keeps that complexity of the fruit, and then it will lay down for a further 6 months in the bottle before we see it. This is where you can understand where biodynamic wines, this is where you can understand biodynamic wines. They're really done on the viticulture side rather than the winemaking side. As I said, everything is about the winery, about the vineyard. The winery doesn't do much. They just let the wine ferment, right? So let's have a look. So for those playing at home, I do hope you have your bottle of Sangiovese and you get a chance to try this with me. Let's have a look. So the color, wow, really light, ruby red, not even ruby red, actually ruby red, yeah, but very light. You can see through, you can tell. What's the alcohol content? 13.5%, perfect food wine, just saying. Let's have a look at the nose. Does anyone have a pizza? Or a piece of charcuterie? So I'm getting roses. Does anyone get like that rose petal, yeah? Like Turkish delight, rose petal? Oh, that just pops out of the glass. Lots of cherry, like black cherry. Raspberries. It's got this earthiness to it as well. Like you can really taste the earth that it comes from. And sweet spices like ginger, like salted ginger. And there's something else. There's something else there, sweet spice, if you can smell it. For those who are better cooks than me, because I can't cook. But yeah, lots of raspberries, lots of blackberries, lots of black cherries. Like it's a really, like, textbook Sangiovese really. Like it's delightful. Let's have a look at let's give it a whirl. Wow, this is fresh. For those playing at home, maybe we should have left this one for another 6 months. No, it's delightful. It's super fresh. It's delicate. It's soft. It's got very nuanced tannins. What are tannins for those that don't know? So you know that acidity. So that acidity is where you tip your mouth forward, your mouth wants to water. See how it feels like even though your mouth wants to water, it just sucks it back up? Can you feel that? That is tannin. That dryness in the mouth, that is delightful, and it's soft, and it's like, it just really envelops the whole mouth. It's perfectly balanced. You know, I'm getting a lot of menthol. Does anyone else get menthol on this? I'm getting menthol, a lot of menthol, but I think that will wear off in 6 months' time. This is beautiful. For something that's such small production, 14,000 bottles, you know, you are looking $50 to $60 a bottle on this. But, you know, no headaches, no hangovers tomorrow. There's no sulfites used. It's 100% biodynamic. Absolutely beautiful. But, yeah, it's just landed, this vintage, and I think another 6 months. Not that it will last that long. This is one of my most popular wines. So, yeah, that is delicious. So that's Tenuta Mara, and I hope you understand. I know that was a lot of information about biodynamics, guys. I know it was. But I do hope you learnt something about that.